40 background object layer is what we want. Silly thing is I don't know why it decided to screw up. I think it's because I used the right-click functionality to almost like go over the walls that had already been made. So it was trying to compensate for that for some reason. But I've done that before and it didn't do that, so that's pretty odd. Maybe it's just because I did half one way and half the other, rather than all one way or all the other. Regardless of the reason, though, screw up. Not gonna sit on it and pretend like it's okay, because it's not, so we're gonna fix it. I'm also gonna take a slight time to make this a 20 wall and see how that looks on things. Also of note, I'm going to go on the background layer and try and erase just a tiny bit off the edge here. And we're gonna do that. Actually, we don't need to do that, because we can just make the walls and they'll just go over them. So we're only needing to snap to grid, set the walls at 20, and hopefully that's enough. Let's give this another shot. Fuck my life. I saved after the erase. Okay, good. I saved after the erase. Jeez. I had to reload because I did that on the background layer. I wanted on the object layer. It's almost real bad. And again, we're doing this on the object layer so that if we do screw up, we don't need to delete any of the bottom background layer. We just delete the walls. Okay, we're going to do this side now. And now I once again wonder why in the hell it's not giving me the right size of walls. Like, you notice how it's doing like double length here, but not here? I do not get that shit at all. Why are you doing that? Alright, I guess I didn't make a mistake. I guess there's just some sort of issue that it's having with creating those lines. We'll have to look into that another time. Okay, so we have our general dungeon layout. Now we can start to look at maybe how these things are going to be placed inside of it. So maybe we can put that there. Maybe we can toss a bunch of these guys in there. Split up our green slimes inside of here. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, so those can almost be like a roving group, I guess. It goes from place to place. This could be a random encounter as well. Yeah, we're not going to have the white in there. We'll get rid of him. Rid of those lemurs. So we got 100 on the imp. 20 on an acolyte, so maybe we'll go an imp and an acolyte as another one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make this an easy encounter. So 60. Ooh, he's 60 base. Maybe I can go 60 and 20s. Make it 120. That'd make it a medium encounter. Hello, newcomer, whoever you are. Hey, Gamer Jim, how's it going? Just making up the next dungeon that I'm going to be doing. Or maybe not going to be doing, but that I'm going to be trying to be doing. Alright. This is already getting pretty crowded, so I'm going to have to cut some of these encounters, I think. Trying to figure out which ones are the best to cut. I really do want the lemurs in there just to show that there is more of an activity happening in here. 20 and 100 is a 120. Let's see. 160. Yeah, we could do that. So let's say we get rid of that one Alkalite. Let's put the Imp with the Lemures. And he's kind of guarding the place. Save that up. Not so much for traps and hazards, because this is supposed to be like a burial crypt. So, but it does see use, is the thing. Like, people do visit it. So traps don't really necessarily make sense in here, if you get my drift. However, I am going to add traps in the form of monsters as far as green slimes. Like, they're going to be able to drop on top of these people. Maybe I will add a trap here or there, like on some doors, but for the most part I'm trying to go kind of light on traps on this dungeon. Try and go for more of a theme on this one. The question is, though, is how much can I really fit in here without it becoming too cluttered and not taking up too much time? And that's what I'm kind of considering right now. Because there are some encounters that I kind of want in here. Like the green slimes can be used kind of like traps, as can the Mimic. The Mimic is almost like a trap monster. I wanted a presence of devils, undead, and like these human cultists, but I'm almost feeling like the cultists are just taking up too much space. But they're kind of why this place is inhabited in the first place, so coming to terms with what's appropriate and what's not becoming an issue. I suppose I could get rid of the ghoul encounter. However, I wanted some type of like enticing encounter where like the adventurers see the treasure chest and they're like, ooh, it's over there. And maybe it'll distract them from battle, make them make some bad moves, and then they try and open it and they get kind of pinched for it. I think in that vein, these are all 10 monsters. That's 60 experience. Okay. So maybe I can instead do this. Control C, Control V. We'll add one more zombie here, let's say. I think that made it a little bit better. Question is, again, like, the thing is I guess the biggest problem is, where do these guys go? Because both this and the Imp are intelligent creatures. And this is kind of like the big bad of this dungeon. So the thing is, if I put these guys in this place of the dungeon, this is already a difficult encounter. If I put somebody that could reasonably yell out and call for help in this chamber, it makes the encounter way, way harder. Possibly just straight up deadly to the PCs. So I can't really put the Imp there, because he'll do the same thing, he'll call for assistance. And I can't really put these guys there, because they'll call for assistance as well. Alright, I'm guessing we're probably going to have to just swap some of this stuff out. So maybe we'll take the zombies out of there, we'll put these guys over here. Party's goal reason for entering is really exploration at this part. This is kind of a follow-up to another map. If you'll recall, I had a cave complex, and one of the parts of the cave complex was actually a tomb that gets sealed off. And kind of later on, you know, this is a level 2 dungeon, and the cave complex is a level 1. So it's kind of like after they clear that out, they're like, okay, well, everything's sealed off. We'll let them know. The guild decides to clear it out, and they go, hey, we've had a couple people poking around in there, and some of them haven't come back. Like, we need you to see what's happening down there. And what they're going to discover is that this is actually a burial crypt that's being... it's a burial crypt that's related to a group of people that had to go underground. Essentially, they were part... I'm trying to work it all out, but I'm guessing they were part of some sort of civilization. And their political party or whatever gets ousted, gets couped, and their leaders get killed. They recover the bodies of their dead leaders, and they bury them inside of this crypt. And they're trying to, you know, protect them because they still revere them. One of the things that's heavy in Arbiter is the idea of ancestral worship. So this is called the Sanctum of the False Council. And basically they're coming here, this cult is coming here in order to commune with their dead, maybe get advice from them. But they've also been killing adventurers that have been coming down here because they're not sure if they're going to give away their secret. And they've also kind of conscripted some devils to their side as well in order to help them out. And the devils in turn have been kind of resurrecting the dead around this place. You know, dead adventurers and some of the dead people in here that were less important to try and protect the place. So with that in mind, we have like 2 separate groups of whatever this human civilization was, and then we have a set of devils, and then we're going to have some undead. With the way this is currently set up, I think this is actually going to work out. Because right now, these guys are far enough away that they might not get alerted by the imp. Or that the players will be able to get rid of them in time. These guys aren't close enough. It feels like we're actually separating these guys enough at this point. I'm going to stick the zombies over here in this room and make them almost cannon fodder for this encounter. I think we'll get rid of 2 of these human acolytes. That way, because those 2 human acolytes were worth 40 experience, these ghouls, or these zombies, are each worth 10, so they're actually equivalent in experience value. But that makes it so that if these guys hear the battle and they join it, that it doesn't become an unbeatable encounter. We're going to go ahead and place the zombies at different sections of the room. Save it. Yeah, I have a couple of options to get them out of combat, or to have them get the jump on combat. Which is, right now, just with the actual layout of the dungeon, you'll notice I have these things. These are actually secret passages. So if they decide to take this route, they can actually sneak up from behind on this encounter, or they can go around here and take it and sneak up on this one. We also have a secret passage connecting these 2 places. And then I'm going to maybe pick up something else, like just from set pieces that they can use, perhaps. But we'll hit that as it happens, you know, as I can figure out what I want to do with it. This was another Dungeon Gamer gem where I did it kind of by artboarding out the creatures that I was interested in using. And I think it turned out pretty good. I found out on our first session that I think the max amount of encounters that we're going to be able to do for the length of session that I want is 3 or 4, with maybe a roaming encounter. And I think that one fits with this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 type of thing, but that's almost like the same encounter. And then we have an optional encounter through the Mimic. Another way that I could do this is I could also make these skeletons like wander, or I could make this group wander from place to place. Or I could make the imp wander from place to place. So maybe I make this imp encounter actually a mobile encounter, that he like goes from place to place checking things out. It's another possibility. Another thing I could do is maybe the Lemirs do that. Just depends on what I want to get done, I suppose. But for now, I think the encounter design is fine enough. I can figure out things like that when it becomes... when I want to work on this more. Alright, so we've gone ahead and established what our encounters are going to look like. We need to finish our stat blocks for them, but we can do that at another juncture, because I don't think you guys want to watch me fill in numbers and struggle with copy-pasting things.